Hello children, in this video you will be learning EVS chapter 9 Up You Go. So in this video we will learn about the mountaineering camp, that is the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, which is situated in Uttar Kashi. So this is the story of Sangeeta Arora. She writes in her diary the real experience of mountaineering, and she is the teacher in Kendriya Vidyalaya. She writes in her diary that 20 of us were teachers from Kendriya Vidyalayas. There were other women from banks and other institutions. So this was the second day of the camp. In the morning, as I got out of bed and put my foot down, I screamed in pain. I remembered yesterday's 26-kilometer walk with a heavy rucksack on my back. I was afraid to go back to that steep climb and the rough narrow path. With tears in my eyes, I started walking slowly towards the room of Brigadier Gyan Singh. Suddenly, I hung my head and rushed back to get ready as I realized that I was the team leader. So I started thinking about what a leader must do, and these are some of the qualities of the leader. They are to help others in carrying their bags and let the group go ahead and keep to the last. Help those who cannot climb properly and look after those who are not well, and find a good place to stop and rest. Arrange for food for the group. And the most important thing is to be ready to be punished even when someone else may have made a mistake. I realized that there was a special kind of discipline here. I wondered whether the camp will still be fun. So as Sangeeta was the leader of group number 7, the group number 7 included girls from Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. I was the only teacher from Kendriya Vidyalaya in this group. I was happy to meet my new group members, but most of them could not speak Hindi well. I still feel bad that after being together for 21 days, I could not talk even once with Kodambi from Mizoram. Kodambi is her friend. She was from Mizoram and she spoke only in Mizo, and Sangeeta was unable to speak her because she was not knowing Mizo language. Mizo is spoken in Mizoram. But she says that, but in our hearts we grew close to each other. So Sangeeta and their friends stayed there for 21 days. Next, coming to crossing the river. We got vitamin C, iron tablets and hot chocolate milk with our breakfast. These were given for strength and to keep us warm in the cold. And every morning there would be a medical checkup. We tied our bandages and counted the days left. And this was on the 5th February 1984. After an 8-kilometer trek, we reached a river. There was a thick rope tied across the river from one bank to the other. The rope was tightly fixed to pegs and pigeons on both the sides. I was feeling nervous. I started thinking what would happen if the rope came out. I was trying to estimate how wide the river was. Our instructor tied a rope around his wrist and put a sling in it. He then put the sling on the thick rope tied across the river. Walking through the icy water, he went to the other side. No one was ready to step into the fast-flowing river. Everyone was pushing each other to go first. Then the instructor came near me with the sling and rope in his hands. Then he said, "Sangeeta madam, now it is your turn." I felt as if my feet was frozen and someone had gently pushed me into the water. I started shivering. My teeth were chattering. I could hold the rope and started putting my feet firmly on the river bed. As I walked further in, the river got deeper and slowly the water reached up to my neck. In the middle of the river, I lost my balance and started slipping. I was so scared and felt so cold that the rope slipped from my hands and I started shouting for help. I was sure I could be carried away by the river, but no, I found that I was tied with the rope to the sling. Hold the rope, hold the rope. I could hear the shouts. I somehow managed to hold the rope and pull myself forward. Slowly, with some courage, I reached the river bank. So in the picture you can see how she reached the other side of the river bank. And Sangeeta says that she felt a special kind of happiness as she came out of the water. Then it was on the 10th February 1984. We had to climb 15 kilometers to reach Thekla village and it was at a height of 1600 meters. Our rucksacks had all that we may need. That is food packs, water bottle, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, waster, then whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana and some other snacks. We could see fruits and vegetables growing in the step fields. So here are the step fields which are on the sides of the mountains. We saw Colonel Ram Singh standing on a 90-meter high flat rock with pegs and ropes. We had been told to first observe the rock carefully and identify holes. Holes means here the place where we can put our hands and the feet. Today I was not going to back out. I stood first in the line. Our instructor tied a rope around his wrist. He put the sling and held the thick rope which was hanging. So as you can see here. So he started climbing as if he was running up. I also put my sling. But as I took my first step, I slipped. And there I was swinging from the rope. Keep your body at an angle of 90 degrees while climbing, I heard. Keep your back straight. Do not bend. Keeping this in mind, I imagined the rock as flat ground and started to climb up. Again, while climbing down, we had to use the rope in a special way called as rappelling. So this is they are coming down and that method is called as rappelling. I did this with the same fearlessness. Then it was on 15th February 1984. After a dinner, we met a special guest, Bachendri Pal. She had just been selected as a part of the team to climb Mount Everest. She had come to seek the blessings of Brigadier Gyan Singh. It was a happy evening. We were all singing. Bachendri also joined us in singing and dancing on the famous Pahadi songs. At that time, we had no idea that Bachendri would become the first Indian woman to reach the Mount Everest and create history. So here is the highest peak where Bachendri Pal reached and stepped on the peak of 8,900 meter on 23rd May 1984. So camp in the snow. It was on the 18th February 1984. We were standing at a height of 2134 meters and we were to spend the night here. Everyone was busy trying to put up the tent. We used double layered plastic sheets for the tent and for the ground. The air between the layers would keep us warm. We put in the pegs and began to put up the tent as we tied it from one side. And we were feeling very hungry. We collected some firewood and stones to make chulha and cooked some food. After the meal, we collected all the waste in a bag to clean the campsite. Soon, we got into our sleeping bags. I was not sure if I would be able to sleep in it. Would it be comfortable? The bags were filled with soft feathers which help in keeping us warm. We were all very tired, so very soon we fell asleep. The next morning, we woke up and found that it was snowing. White, soft, fluffy snowflakes were falling and we enjoyed throwing snowballs at each other and making a big snowman. So, it was the last day on the camp. We were getting ready for the campfire. Each group presented a program. We were enjoying, telling jokes and laughing, singing and dancing around the campfire. Soon it was midnight and Brigadier Gyan Singh announced me as the Best Performance Award.